Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Hey, there's a couple things I want to cover today. How big is Forex? How big is that Forex market? Is it bigger than the Dow? Is it bigger than the Nasdaq? Just exactly how big is that thing? And you know, what exactly is the Forex market? I mean, is it foreign currency only? Is it the dollar only? Just exactly what is that? What is a pair? And the third thing I want to cover today is, you know, what can it do for your family? Is this something you should try? Is it something you need to get in there and learn? I'll go over my journey. I'll go over a little bit about what it's done for me, and we'll dig into that right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you get value from it. It's really going to help us out. And guys, with that, let's get this thing started. Okay guys, so in this graph, I have a couple of the markets around the world listed. The Asian market, which consists of, you know, things like Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. They come in at $199 billion. The FTSE, which is basically UK's market, they come in at a $290 billion. Our futures market here in this country, it's the bulk of the U.S. stocks, but it comes in at $437 billion. And then you have the NYSE, which I always thought was the biggest before I learned about Forex. It's companies like Apple and Microsoft and Amazon and Google, and we've all heard of those big companies. And they come in at $457 billion. That's a lot of money. But then I found out about Forex. And Forex consists of like all currencies that are traded, like the Great British Pound and the Japanese yen, Australian dollar, the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, but also some smaller countries like Mexico are traded in that, and the South African rand, and there's several. And that comes in at a whopping $6.6 trillion. So to kind of put that into perspective a little bit, 6.6 trillion $1 bills stacked up on each other would stretch from here to the moon and back 9 times. 9 times. Guys, that kind of still blows my mind. So now that you kind of understand how big the Forex market is in comparison to all the other markets, let's go ahead and kind of break down what that is, what currency is, how they're traded against each other. Let's take like a 10,000 foot view and look down on it, and I'll try to break that down the best I can so you kind of grasp an understanding on exactly what the foreign currency market is. Okay guys, so in this chart I've listed some of the currency pairs and the country and FX geek speak, which is just basically what currency traders call these. But you'll notice on the left hand side, like EUR/USD is basically just the European currency traded against the United States dollar. So in essence, what that means is if you put in a buy for EUR/USD, you're expecting the European currency to strengthen against the dollar, or USD CAD, which is the United States dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Same scenario, if you put in a buy on that, you're expecting the dollar to strengthen against the Canadian currency. So, and at the end of this, I'll show you a chart and show you kind of what that means. But these are some of the pairings. Now, you'll hear the term master pair or master currency. And what that means is the currencies that you see on the left, the EUR/USD, GBP, USD, AUD, and ZD. Basically what those are is if you buy or sell a currency, if you buy that particular pair, you expect the master to either go up if you buy or go down if you sell. And depending on a lot of factors, and we teach how the markets move, and we teach the patterns of the market. And that just kind of lets you guys know what to expect when charts do certain things, when they go up and they go down. With that education under the format that we use and what we teach and what HYDRA Trading System has to offer on their website, you'll kind of get to understand and almost be able to gauge whether or not the market's going to go up or down in the future. So with that education becomes understanding, and you'll start having some super profitable trades. But so let's get into that chart now, and I'll kind of show you how the US dollar stacked up against the Canadian dollar during the time frame where I took the screenshot of this pairing. Okay, hey guys, I pulled up this chart from tradeview.com. This is the chart I normally draw up all my trades on. It's just the one I prefer. But I kind of wrote up here, I said, as you can see, currency prices move 24 hours, 5 days a week. So what we're used to here in this country, those of us who, trade Forex, we get to trade 24 hours, 5 days a week, as opposed to the Dow and the Nasdaq and things of that nature that only trade for certain hours of the day. We get to trade 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, which was important to me because on a day shift job, I only had certain hours I could even look at the charts and trade currency. So that was important to me because these charts fluctuate for that entire time. So on this chart, you can kind of see it's the U.S. Canadian dollar, or the U.S. dollar v. the Canadian dollar. And at the time that I took this screenshot, this is actually current price. But back in October, at the end of October, you can see where I have $1.33. And down here, sort of around December 14th, I have $1.27. Now what that means is, because remember earlier in the video, I said that the US dollar, Canadian dollar, the first listed pair is your master pair. In this case, it would be the US dollar, right? So if I'm an American citizen and I wanted to go to Canada to catch a Canucks game or something like that, right? I would go and I would buy Canadian currency, okay? Because obviously in Canada, I would want to do Canadian currency, and this works with any currency. I don't care if you're going to Britain or Japan or New Zealand or whatever. So this is kind of how this works. At the time that I planned my trip, I could have gotten, for every dollar, I could have gotten $1.33 of Canadian money, okay? Which means I had more buying power, all right? But I didn't. I wanted to wait, so I waited all the way until December 14th to go. I went to Canada. We're having a good time. I had to get some Canadian money. I went to a Canadian bank and swapped out my dollar bill for Canadian money, right? Well, I waited till December 14th, and you can see this chart, how the dollar was weakening against the Canadian dollar, right? So if I would have bought back when I planned the trip, my money would have been worth $1.33. But now you can see down here that it's worth $1.27. All right, so I lost 6 cents on the dollar. So my buying power is not as much as what it would have been. This happens all the time in currencies, right? So I wanted to illustrate to you guys that this is how the price of goods and things of that nature. Can you imagine being a major corporation buying billions and billions and billions of dollars worth of product from overseas, and everything costs you 6 cents less or 6 cents more, right? Because, see, that's where it's important to know how these markets fluctuate, because it affects everything. The price of money, the Forex market has been around since the Roman era. I mean, it's been going on for a long, long time. And like I said earlier, it's a $6.6 trillion market. So I kind of hope that this helps you guys understand how money moves and how, we make money, how we look at these charts, and You know, it's a really fun thing to get into. It's a really fun thing to learn. It's definitely a journey. And speaking of journey, I'm going to go ahead and get in a little bit of my story and how this journey started. So I'll see you guys on the other side of this clip right here. So guys, back when I started years ago trading, I was just trying to find a different, way to make some money. Didn't know how much money I could really make, but the thing is that I've always been intrigued by charts and by financial news and things of that nature. I didn't really even know Forex existed until about 3 years ago. And I really got involved and started finding out all the information that I could. I dug into obviously Google and tried to, in YouTube and things of that nature to find out, exactly what this whole Forex thing was about. I was lucky enough to get a hold of a company that taught me a lot. I have some really great mentors. And that's one of the reasons why we started HYDRA, was we wanted to give people who didn't have the knowledge, who didn't have the skill set right now, and even some people that really did have the skill set. We even have master traders now that make multiple 7 figures. But really wanted to help those people tap in. We have some really great people on staff. We have some really great computer coders that have wrote some really good code to kind of send out some signals to people, so they don't have to sit in front of the chart all day. They actually get the signals on Discord, and they can go look at the charts and decide whether or not they want to buy or sell, or if they want to do anything at all. So guys, it's been a really cool journey. It's brought freedom. It's brought a lot of nice things. It's a really good skill set to have, and keep this in mind. When you learn this skill set, this is something that you can take with you. You'll have this skill set until you die, basically. But this is also something that you can pass on to your kids. So I would really encourage you guys to if you're interested in Forex, to go ahead and take the journey, right? Plug in, get a hold of us, or just find a teacher, find a mentor to teach you how this thing works, because I can tell you, it's worth it. So guys, make sure that if you got anything out of this, that you subscribe and like the video. Leave in a comment if there's anything else you'd like me to cover. I'll be releasing a ton more content on Forex as time goes on. Thank you guys so much for listening and for viewing the video, and I hope you all have a great rest of 2020, and I hope that 2021 is much better for all of us. Anyway, guys, with that, have a great day. Bye-bye.